truth, honesty, and integrity. I don't want this power anymore. He can hold his breath 30 seconds. That is more impressive than having an extra care card. I don't know what's going on with my hair. I'm not here to talk about the intellect of the average Ohioan. Wow, my hair just got crazy. Ohioan. With love and hope, Taylor Swift, Childless cat lady. I was impressed. Incident after incident after problem after problem.
Hard Rock Lunchbox.
Hello everybody. Hopefully I am transmitting. I apologize for my tardiness. It has been one hell of a morning. just basically getting my breath back. Just incident after problem after problem. Since the moment I got to my desk, it's just beyond my limit to deal with today. I am trying to pull myself back into at least a few minutes here, and then I can just play some music for the rest of you. We've got some good stuff coming up today, including possibly, I mean, I can't promise anything, but like potentially a sneak peek at the Craving Strange release for tomorrow, coming out Friday the 13th. I'm talking, of course, about Grains, the very long-awaited new song from Craving Strange. I know I am super excited about that one specifically because it is a new song from one of my favorite local bands. But also, it's been a very long time since Craving's released material. I mean, I guess not very long, but like long enough. Also, I am one of several people that actually got to sing on it, and that's fun. Honestly, that is the first time I've ever had that honor. Never been asked to sing on anything before, so that was kind of nice to get. I do have some stuff to read that'll probably help reel some stuff back in. I do want to talk about basic light housekeeping. There's a new top 20 out. I have not done any promo for it at all. I forgot to do. I think the video should be out at least. I think I managed to do that. I did not do the shorts. I did not do any of the AI reels. I may or may not get to it. Honestly, I'm so spent and so caught up in so many other things. I'm having a really hard time catching up. It's literally a hard time just moving through my day. And it's not even like one of those situations where I've been in situations where I've been like on medication or been ill where it just feels like I can't move. This is not that. And that is why it's, I think, uniquely frustrating because I can move. I cannot seem to escape the things around me. And I talk a lot, I guess, maybe not a lot publicly, but I talk a lot about basically like the way that you can receive things in the universe and the way that you experience life. There's a lot to that, and I've noticed over the years that I have a propensity for kind of receiving. I can definitely receive. I can definitely program to receive from the universe, but unfortunately, my superpower seems to lie in my ability to attract negativity upon negativity. I don't know why that it is. I don't want this power anymore, and it becomes too much. Like I can't even begin to explain the fighting I have been doing for the past couple of hours. Needless fighting, like absolutely needless fighting. Like I will give you just a small example of just one thing that I've got on. I was trying to get a prescription filled at CVS. I was trying to get it delivered because I'm not going to have the time to go get it. I have free delivery for my CVS because I'm a CVS extra card member. It's not really that special of a thing. Anybody can do it. I feel very much like on Despicable Me, where they put in his application to adopt the girls, where it's like he can hold his breath 30 seconds. That is more impressive than having an extra care card. But My point is that it should be delivered. I get same-day delivery for free. And it's not a huge deal. Honestly, if I don't get it, nothing's going to get better. Nothing's going to get worse. It doesn't really matter. But I called because at this point I really wanted to know. And unfortunately, I am in a mental state of affairs where my obsessive thinking and compulsory rumination on thoughts just drives me just short of insane. So I decided I needed an answer for this, why it couldn't be delivered. So I call the pharmacy, I speak to the pharmacist. First of all, I leave a message for the pharmacy, because that's how they do it, and then they call you back. And they call me back, and I answer the phone, and they're like, how can I help you? I'm like, you called me, dude. Like, just real hyper-aggressive, and just, he's like, well, you left a message. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get this prescription delivered. And they're like, oh, I can't help you. You have to call CVS.com or whatever. So I did. I called them. First person I spoke to couldn't speak English to save their life, so that took forever. The second, and then they disconnected me, which was awesome. The second person couldn't speak English to save their life either, but it took me about 20 minutes to explain what my email address was, because they could not understand me because I'm speaking English in an English-speaking country, so why would they? Finally got that settled, got over to somebody that actually spoke English and was going to call the pharmacy directly and help me, and they said that, your card was declined. I was like, that's ridiculous. First of all, it's an Amex. There's no way to decline it unless it's been stolen, and it hasn't. But then it turns out the pharmacist had to allow it for delivery. Pharmacist actually had to check a box and approve it for delivery. That's why I couldn't get it delivered. So when I spoke to the pharmacist and he told me there was nothing he could do about it, he flat out lied to me. And the best part of the entire conversation was me speaking to this woman. I'm like, so basically your pharmacist lied right to me because he said he couldn't do anything about it, and to call this other thing I've been doing for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes or whatever, dealing with all these unpleasant, inept people, and the pharmacist could have just fixed this immediately and didn't. She's like, well, I can't say that he lied. I'm like, I'm not asking you to. I'm saying he lied, and I'm telling you that's a problem. In a world where there's a lot of other pharmacies, I do not need CVS, especially since you're so goddamn expensive. The only reason I'm at CVS is because that's just what's on file for me. It's been on file for years. I'd rather go to Walgreens. It's closer. Walmart, believe it or not, is actually one of the best pharmacies there is, as is Costco. So anyway, that's just a prime example of what I've been dealing with, a problem that does not need to be a problem. I didn't do anything wrong here. I didn't do anything wrong. I simply existed, and then there was a problem because of that, because my existence caused this problem. And that is just one of many things that is already happening this morning. It is barely past noon. I have simply not been awake that long to have this many things go wrong. And I am losing my goddamn mind. I can't even speak. I can't even seem to control my breath or get things that I need to survive. I cannot seem to control my breath. I can't even get my words out. And it's been a day. So I'm hoping the top 20 is out today. I don't know what's going on with my hair. I should probably invest in a hairbrush. I do have to go back and get a haircut because I look like complete garbage, and I'm so tired of looking so bad. Like that whole Tom Segura thing when he talks about like weight loss, and people are asking him for advice, and he's like, when you look in the mirror, do you say, I hate you? Like, yeah, man, that is the single greatest piece of advice I can give for change, because that's every day, every goddamn day, multiple times a day. I mean, I've been in therapies and stuff where they're like, you look in the mirror and tell your reflection that you love yourself. I can't even get those words out. That's my existence. That's my reality. That's mental illness. And that's how it looks, in somebody that's really just still trying to function and can. So I'm sorry for all that. I'll try and just get through this and keep my nonsense to a minimum, because honestly, nobody cares. Nobody needs to hear it, and nobody needs to be brought down by some dime store or five and time barely a radio show host. But hopefully the top 20 is out. You can check it out. It's where I'm talking about like trying to find the beauty in everyday spaces, which is just complete BS. Like, don't even bother. Like, it's not there. Like, if you can find it, great, good for you. But like, I'm gonna stop because it's not there. It's not out there anymore, and I'm gonna stop looking because it's just making me more and more frustrated. However, I did want to read this. I don't know how many people know this story or follow. A lot of people, like myself, unplugged from politics, but very, very extreme stories or very like what just happened always seem to make their way to me, and that's good because I have dropped. I have friends. Sorry. I have another condition. I can't bend over so much. I don't know if it's the hyperstatic hypertension or if it's blood pressure too low again. But I have trouble with that, so I apologize. UN Radio, don't worry about it. I'm fine. But I have friends that like send me weird stories and stuff. Like I got some funny messages yesterday about people eating pets in Springfield, Ohio, which was easily... Wow, my hair just got crazy. Hang on, let me fix that. Which is one of the funniest things I had heard, actually, recently. And that was funny. But I think the topper... and this isn't really about the debate, if you watch the debate, but the topper, for me, occurred either just before it or after it or whatever. Proximal to it. Had something to do with the debate, but what I'm talking about had nothing to do with the debate. So... just for some background, I don't know who knows who Donald Trump's running mate is. He's Senator J.D. Vance from Ohio. He is a terrible individual. Even he is wildly unpopular in Ohio, but because he's a Republican, Ohioans decided to vote for him anyway. So I think it's stupid. Sherrod Brown, by far and away, is a much better senator, and I cannot believe his seat is in danger. But I'm not here to talk about the intellect of the average Ohioan, but let's just say I don't have a lot of respect for it. Anyway, so he has famously been saying stupid stuff. He's a very unpleasant individual. But one of the things he was saying, he was criticizing people that don't have children. Man. He was criticizing people that don't have children because he was saying they do not have as much of a stake in this country than other people, which is like bananas. So I just wanted to just read the background because what I'm going to read next is important and reliant on that. Republican vice presidential nominee Senator J.D. Vance's criticism of prominent Democrats as, quote, childless cat ladies has unleashed fury among women, with many now reclaiming the age-old sexist trope as a call to action this election season. Good. In a 2021 interview with Fox News host Tucker Carlson, another genius, sub-genius, moron, whatever, then Senate candidate Vance complained that the U.S. was being run by Democrats, corporate oligarchs, and a, quote, bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too, end quote. He goes on to say, quote, it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children, quote. Vance continued, quote, and how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it, end quote. There's lots of good reasons to not have kids. It does not make your stake in this country any more or any less. It changes what you might think is important. As the father of a daughter, I have a lot of concern for her social issues growing up. I'm comfortable that she lives in New York, basically the free state of New York, probably for the foreseeable future. I don't know that she would ever require an abortion, but if she needed one, she could get one in New York. Donald Trump has said, just shy of said, that he would sign a national abortion amendment or bill or referendum referendum, J.D. Vance has said he would support it for sure. In fact, what Trump had said is that he won't have to sign it because it'll never get that far. It'll never pass Congress, which is a ridiculous statement because Roe v. Wade was never going to get overturned, and yet here we are. So having children just changes what becomes important to you. It generally will expand what's important to you. Like, I don't know, as a straight white male, I care inherently, for me, so much about women's issues, LGBTQ issues, and stuff like that, like, because of my makeup, what I look like. But, like, because I'm a human being and a good human being, I do care about those things in others. And it's the same about having children. It's also the same about having parents. If you start worrying about elder care, or if you have siblings with mental disorders, like, you start caring about that, or heaven help you, if you have a family member or a dear friend with physical deformities that just got kicked off of Medicaid, well, that becomes an issue too, right? Anyway, the reason I wanted to tell you any of that is because what I'm about to read would not make sense if you didn't know about the childless cat ladies. So I'm going to read this. The night of the debate, our very own Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris for president. Taylor was famously involved in the 2018 Senate election in her home state because she was opposed to Marsha Blackburn, who kept calling herself a good Christian even though she wasn't. And that just incensed the very young, very religious, family-oriented Taylor Swift, which I thought was super brave and super impressive. And I'm not saying brave in the way that people call each other brave. I mean brave, like, actually, because she could be a target of a threat. It could ruin or cripple her enterprise, everything she's worked for. Literally bravery in coming out. And I think she's done it again. And here's her statement, which you can find. I think it's an Instagram post. So Tete writes, like many of you, I watched the debate tonight. If you haven't already, now is a great time to do your research on the issues at hand and the stances these candidates take on the topics that matter to you the most. As a voter, I make sure to watch and read everything I can about their proposed policies and plans for this country. Recently, I was made aware that AI of, quote, me, falsely endorsing Donald Trump's presidential run was posted to his site. It really conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers of spreading misinformation. It brought me to the conclusion that I need to be very transparent about my actual plans for this election as a voter. The simplest way to combat misinformation is with the truth. That's very true. I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential election. I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she fights for the rights and causes I believe need a warrior to champion them. I think she is a steady-handed, gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos. I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Walz, who has been standing up for LGBTQ rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades. I've done my research, and I've made my choice. Your research is all yours to do, and the choice is yours to make. I also want to say, especially to first-time voters, remember that in order to vote, you have to be registered. I also find it's much easier to vote early, and I'll link where to register and find early voting dates and info in my story. With love and hope, Taylor Swift, Childless Cat Lady. That, my friends, is an incredibly intelligent, introspective, and informative Instagram post. I know you might not recognize it considering all the trash and garbage that exists on Instagram, but there you have it. A shining beacon of light, of truth, honesty, and integrity. All from possibly one of the most famous childless cat ladies on earth. I was impressed. I hope you're impressed too. I am, however, going to switch gears and get to some music because I am losing my ability to speak. And I thought it'd be appropriate to go with a good friend of mine who is not a childless cat lady. She is, however, a childless dog lady. And that ought to count.